Radical.
Welcome to Radical Rapid Fire Comment Response for October 18th through October 24th, 2021. Short comments, quick replies. Jimmy Huston, I agree with what you're saying. I enjoy your content. I enjoy everything that you're talking about, so keep up everything. Very good work that you always do. Thumbs up emoji. Smiling emoji. Big smile emoji. Yeah, I really nailed it. The big smiling emoji. The thumbs up. Okay. The thumbs up and the smiles. Okay. But the big smiling emoji, you know, means a lot to me that I made somebody smile that big, right? Shinra returns. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where'd you return from? That's the question we need to be asking you, Shinra. Where did you return from? How long were you gone? Nintendo are so greedy. Yeah, yeah. I've been critical of Nintendo in the past for being greedy. And this most recent cash grab is quite greedy. Quite greedy. I mean, compared to, what you get on the offerings for other online services, this definitely is greedy compared to Sony and Microsoft. And Sony and Microsoft have had their greedy moments. But, in the battle of greed and online services, for what you get, for what money you put down for this service, and it is a service, you don't get to keep these N64 games. You don't actually own these N64 games. At least with emulators and ROMs, you can make multiple copies of these ROMs in different folders, and you could actually play them as long as you have a computer or a device infinitely, forever, right? I mean, it's not a physical copy. It's not as good as a physical copy, but this is just a terrible, terrible service. And like I stated in my critical upload of Nintendo, even a lot of the games are glitching out. And the water temple was Zelda, as many people brought up. Silver Music Box, one of the biggest ripoffs. When you mention GameCube, Dreamcast, and Saturn being on it, that would be fantastic. Unrelated. I know this one person. He always says fantastic. Always says fantastic. Not a day goes by that I don't see this person and I haven't walked by and be like, hey, how you doing? He's like, I'm just fantastic. How are you? Like fantastic's like his big word. But it is a big ripoff because you look at what it could have been. Let's say they add in Dreamcast and Saturn and GameCube. They add in actually stuff after like the 2000s, right? They add in how awesome would it be to have a lot of actual games from a lot of different consoles. If you're actually going to do a service, Nintendo, do the shit right. You can't even offer anything extra besides the N64? It would be more difficult, is what it is. Because what they offered on the service is basically just emulators and ROMs, but actually emulating GameCube, Dreamcast, Saturn, stuff of that nature. Probably be a bit more difficult, you know. I just don't technically know how it all works. I just know what they're offering is shit. Martyville. They should rename Nintendo Online into Nintendo Conline and the expansion pack into the expensive pack. There's a reason why it's called content. Okay, you had me at the first two there. Nintendo Conline and expensive pack. But content, I think you just reached a little too hard. You reached a bit hard. You went for the terrific triple, but you got the deadly double. Generosi T. Your name reminds me of Genovi, and I would like to get around to that. I wasn't able to today, but I'd like to get around to that. Maybe I'll take a little more time on that. I watched the upload from Genovi, but I'm still kind of marinating on a lot of that stuff. Generosi T. This is late, but his channel isn't a hobby. It's a source of income along with Twitch streaming. Talking about Some Call Me Johnny, and I think he had a disagreement with me stating that his channel was a hobby channel. Well, here's the deal. He makes money on YouTube. A lot of people make money on YouTube, It does not mean it's not a hobby platform just because you make some money on it. The framework of YouTube is a hobbyist platform. Anyone can get on YouTube. There's no, like anybody, any schmuck can get on YouTube and upload videos. That makes it a hobby platform. It's not like an ABC, CBS, NBC, whatever. It's not like a actual network where they have to approve you and approve your show and you go, there's no need for really approval because it's a hobby platform. Doesn't mean there's not a lot of great stuff on YouTube, but at its core, at its heart, it is a hobby platform. And Some Call Me Johnny is currently on a hobby platform, which makes him a hobby video uploader. Razor Ramon. Hey yo, that's exactly how AEW fanboys are. Criticize anything about the product and you get ganged up on. Softest fans in all of pro wrestling. I don't know. I don't keep up with like the AEW fanboys or the WWE fanboys or fangirls. I don't keep up with that particularly, but I don't really keep up with a lot of things wrestling nowadays. I try to. When there's a big return, I'm like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna check that out. But then I kind of like waver off. Then there's another big return. I'm like, hell yeah, man, but then I kind of waver off. So I'm not a constant wrestling watcher. So I really can't tell you about a lot of things to criticize in AEW. One thing I don't like though is the layout of some of the matches, how they all seem to be extreme. There's like 1,000 different flips and dives, and a lot of the matches just seem to wind up. I don't know. I know they're not structured the same way as WWE and they're not WWE style. But when I see two people and they keep constantly super kicking each other and they're no selling it, I just don't know. And the super kick, by the way, poor Shawn Michaels. Poor Shawn Michaels. He must be watching all these wrestlers doing like 15 super kicks in a match. Like, what is that one team, the Young Bucks? All they do is super kick. It's just, it lessens it. It lessens it. The sweet chin music, that is. Haddington Rose. The Switch's online service is a joke. The games are literally rentals that you don't download to the system and you can't play them offline. Just hack a Switch and put the NES, SNES, N64, and Genesis emulator on it. Then you can have as many games as you want. Third-party, heavily copyrighted games on it. How difficult is it to hack a Switch? I don't know. Seems like that'd be kind of difficult to do that. I've seen other people talk about when the Steam Deck comes out, how that's going to be pretty wicked to actually play all these emulators and ROMs on the Steam Deck. Right? I mean, look at it this way. You can get yourself a Steam Deck, and you could literally download Project 64 and every N64 ROM. And you could play all those games on the Steam Deck, right? I mean, if you get a Steam Deck. But I know it's going to be nearly impossible to get a Steam Deck because so many people want it. Just like the Intellivision Amico. It's impossible to get one because there's so many people that want it. Channel of Stuff. This is why I refuse to use cloud-based stuff other than movies. Yeah, cloud stuff, I mean, the streaming and whatnot, fine for movies. The problem is when it comes to games, I just like the feel of the hardware. I like the feel of getting to play the game on the hardware, even if it's not the, disc or the cartridge or whatever. I like being able to play the game that's actually downloaded to the system. Streaming is not something I think, I know they want to have that be the future of gameplay, but there's too many hiccups that could happen when you're just talking about internet to play games.